Hey, it's your boy Dre real quick before we start. Usually this is the time when I come on here and tell you about wild spoilers we're about to do. We're not going to do that this time. We are about to have an extensive chat about Tears of the Kingdom, finally. However, this will be completely story spoiler free. No story spoilers whatsoever in this discussion because we're going to focus largely on examining gameplay and mechanics and, maybe talking about Zelda as a franchise a little bit, but no story stuff in this podcast. There will be a couple of unavoidable environmental spoilers, which will happen when you're talking about open world games. So sorry about that, but we'll try our best, right? Steve, can you say story spoiler free? 5 times fast?
Story spoiler free. Oh, 5 times fast? Fuck you, Andre.
Come on, whoa! How dare you start the Kevin, help me. Kevin?
Kevin can't help you, Andre.
Step into video game land. Welcome to Fine Time.
Hello, party people. It's your boy Dre. It's your boy Steve as well. Yes, I'm introducing him for you. But our boy Kevin, again, is not here. He decided to, maybe he's out playing Zelda, Steve.
I'd be playing Zelda if I could, but being here is okay, too.
It's all right. I guess I'll just record a podcast with you. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if I had to do a solo show? Oh, my Lord. No.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
Oh,
hey guys, you like stuff?
Sorry, Kevin will be back with us next big deal, hopefully when we talk about Summer Games Fest, Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. When we do all that stuff, he will be here with us. But for now, me and Steve got you covered. We're going to talk about Tears of the Kingdom for a long time, as long as we feel like, I guess. So that's our now playing, of course. What else will we be playing? Maybe next time we'll talk a little Street Fighter 6 or something if we feel like it. Or
oh shit, that's coming out soon.
It's coming out as of this recording. It's coming out in like 36 hours, I think.
Shit.
Maybe 24. Anyway, I honestly don't really know where to start, but let me start here. I don't know about you, Steve, but my Nintendo Switch doesn't have a magical eyeball on the back. I mean, I don't know about yours. Mine didn't come with that. I have a launch model.
Yeah, I have a launch model too, but since I bought the Breath of the Wild collector's set, it came with a pouch that had an eyeball on it, and really, that's good enough for me.
I'm now going to show Steve my beat-up Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch pouch, so you can see is hella faded.
Mine's all the way over there. I really should have had it prepared for this. I'll take a picture for everybody tomorrow.
The Z with the sword on the back, though, is still pretty good, right? But you get to Link over here. Nah, not so much. But what can you do after 6 years, right? How about this? Let's start here. How far have you gotten in the game? I have beat the game, so I've seen it all.
Well,
how long have you?
Mr. Andre, with all his free time, he got to beat the game.
Free time?
Isn't that nice?
Wow. You don't have to jazz hands me. I mean, you could just tell me where you got in the game and not be a sassy ass.
I beat 2 of the main things you're supposed to do and a whole lot of other smaller things they would like you to do, and I'm playing the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game. I'm here for a long time, not a short time,
Are you trying to insinuate that I speed ran the game? Because I certainly did not.
No, I mean you didn't, but I mean I know there was one part you definitely speed ran, and I'm like, that's when you said you did it. I'm like, holy shit, you.
I mean, look. I spent a lot of long nights and very early mornings, if you want to think about it that way, playing this game. Not to beat it in time for the show, because I knew we weren't going to talk story stuff, but it There's other shit coming out. Like we just said, Street Fighter 6 is like coming out. Maybe I can turn on Jedi Survivor and the game will not have massive screen tearing. Maybe they fixed it by now. Right? Like
they're not going to have that shit fixed for Christmas, Andre. Enjoy the Zeldas.
Oh, man. I will say this. No spoilers, of course. I did spend less time on this game than Breath of the Wild by like 20 hours. I'll say that much.
Man, I wouldn't even know how to quantify that because I've been intermittently playing Breath of the Wild hard mode in between other games the whole time. So
I tried a little bit of it, but you know, that's okay. Hard Zelda isn't really what I'm after.
So to answer your other question, what have I been doing? Like going on an adventure, doing whatever the fuck I want. I mean, yeah, is Zelda in trouble? Too fucking bad. I got shit to do. I didn't wait however long for this game to be done with it already.
I don't know why you keep doing this to me. I just said I didn't like. What are you doing to me right now?
I'm not doing it to you. I'm just doing it in general because I feel like people are better at games than me. Oh, they are better than me at games, but. I don't know. It's something I'll bring up a little later, but I mean, it's noticeable from the get-go how we were kind of led by the hand for the first few hours.
Yeah. I mean, what did you not like that?
I don't know. I kind of like Breath of the Wild where you walked out of the tomb and you talk to the hobo that's really the king and he's like, go do that stuff. And then you go down the mountain and then it's like, okay, you're on your own. I kind of like that more than the robots in the sky that are like, no, you need to go do those things now or else. No. You got to go that way.
I didn't feel like the Great Plains was any more or less handholdy than the Sky Islands. I mean, you have to get all your doodads from the various temples, and then you plummet to Earth, or Hyrule, rather. So, I mean...
I don't know, I guess the robots felt more condescending.
I mean, they're robots. Also, they're not badass like King Rome, or... I mean, come on.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm cooking food over a fire. Would you like me to explain to you how to cook food using fire? How about no? I know how to cook food using fire.
See, that's what you're doing. I knew that's what you were fucking doing. You're only saying this shit because you played Breath of the Wild. Like, it's the only reason why you're having this reaction. I say that as if I didn't play Breath of the Wild. But you know what I'm trying to say.
As if 30 million people plus did not play Breath of the Wild.
You can't assume. Nintendo doesn't assume that. But I mean, I don't know. It's not Skyward Sword Wii or something where they're just really hand-holdy. It's just, you know, it's a little extra, which is fine, but this game definitely tries to give you a more crafted experience, right? At least at first. And I found this really interesting because it doesn't take long, like you said, in Breath of the Wild to get to the point of here are the 4 doodads, go do them all or not. And then there's Ganon when you're ready at the castle. Okay, cool, bye. Right? This game, there's a lot more to it than that. And I guess we've talked about this before amongst each other, but we may as well say it here. And this is not an original thought by any means, but Breath of the Wild certainly is like the perfect distillation of like the original Legend of Zelda, right? Because like, here are the things to go do in whatever order you want to do them for the most part. And then do the end, like, and it has that. It was a playground in the mid '80s anyway, with like bizarre secrets and shit. And it's like playground talk. Like, did you know about this or where did you find that? Breath of the Wild and subsequently Tears of the Kingdom still have that shit. That is so hard to do in the internet age, in the information age, right? To still have that kind of wonder. That needs to be commended first and foremost. Like that is incredible.
I still do need to praise the intro, however, because spoiler alerts for an intro we've seen dozens of times since 2019 or so. They start you off in the crypt because, oh no, there's gloom. Link, come with me and find the gloom under the castle. Like. And then he's down there like, this is not what I imagined at all, Zelda. I don't, and suddenly the pants go back on and the shirt. And they're going in, and it's spoopy as fuck down there. You're waiting. You know what? We all know what's coming at the end because we've all seen it in all the trailers they kept throwing at us, and a few years ago. But you're waiting for mummies and zombies and shit to jump out much sooner. The most you get are a few keys, but they do the chanting and shit, and they build up much sooner. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is what I hated about Metroid Dread, where they told us and not showed us. And way back in another time and space, where I'm like, oh man, that intro where they gave us the Newgrounds fan game intro on what the game is going to be, that was not a strong impression for Metroid Dread. This was a very strong first impression for Tears of the Kingdom. And then we find Mummy Dwarf at the end, and he rips out all your hearts, and he flings you up to the sky somehow, and there goes your armhole. And I don't know, I thought that was much better. They improved marks all around there. I loved it.
I think you just don't like demos. I have come to learn this. You do not take to demos well unless it gives you exactly what you want in exactly that amount of time. Nobody feels that way about Metroid Dread except you. I have never heard that take before in my life.
Oh, you like the text crawl at the beginning?
Who cares? It's over in like 2 seconds. I barely even remembered that it happened until you just mentioned it just now.
Video games are an art form, Andre.
Oh, shut up. So, I didn't expect the game to start in the sky. I'll just say that. I just thought we were going to have to get up there somehow, and that would be some big mystery. I didn't really think of how the game would start, but I didn't think we were going to start up there.
I thought we were going to end up there fairly soon, if only because in 2021 they were already showing us the sky, and they were like, okay, so it's not ready yet, but we're going to give you The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD to play. It's also in the sky, so get ready for the sky real soon.
Sky.
Be ready for some sky shit, and here's some footage of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game with footage exclusively in the sky.
Sky.
There was even that brief chat. I was like, oh geez, is all this going to be in the fucking sky? Or are we not going to Hyrule after all? Because
okay, but starting there.
No, that was, and I thought we were going to, I don't know, maybe did a little bit. Well, I guess we did a little bit on the ground, underground in the castle. I guess that counts, sort of. I guess we ended up there fairly quick. And then we got that magical moment where he does the skydive, and it goes, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, yay, magic. We're here. And then the robots come and say, go do the things.
The sense of scale is insane. I don't care what kind of game it is. Being able to go from the heavens down to the earth, dive right into the depths of hell if you want to, is crazy with no loading. I think one time I got hitched on a loading when I was diving into a chasm. It hung up for like 2 seconds because it couldn't keep up with me. That was like one time, and it happened the other night. So like basically right before I beat the game. It was the only time I caught the game loading. Man,
I didn't even notice that, so it must really be seldom. I wasn't even really prepared for ground stuff. The ground stuff is, well, obviously it has to be as big as the land above, as a sort of dark world.
That's what I want to talk about next. We knew about the sky. We knew about Hyrule, of course. I didn't know about hell. I had no idea.
Thank God they know how to keep a few things under their hat at Nintendo, because we were watching that other trailer a month ago where poor Onuma was doing the very curated tour of, here's how we build a raft, and we stick a little fan over it, and we could go across the river. Isn't this fun? Oh, but we've run out of time now. Oh, isn't that too bad? None of us saw Underground until presumably the game leaked, and thank God I dodged all of that.
Oh no, I kept my Twitter muted words vast. I even muted Sidon, and I muted everything I could possibly think of.
No one mutes Sidon.
I muted Sidon.
No, I was not ready for underground. They're like, I need to go underground to look at these statues. Like, underground, like what? You got a cave or something? Yeah, something like that.
Speaking of caves, maybe this is just me, and I don't remember this from Breath of the Wild because it's been so fucking long. When you get down to Hyrule, there's like a lot of random caves to spelunk around in, and they're considered like areas because it says discovery and then like in the name of the cave or whatnot. Did that happen before?
Well, no, Andre, and they even conveniently write around it in the story by calling it the upheaval. Remember, when all the shit falls down to Earth and the earthquakes and whatever else, that's their explanation to why Hyrule is the same place, but why all the shit's different.
I don't really care so much about that. By the way, do you like how they had to visually the thing underground grabs Link's hand and literally sucks all the hearts out of them? It has to on screen show the hearts. Like,
I love that.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't cool. I'm just saying that like it's like the Metroid thing. They always got to explain why she doesn't have her shit. And I'm like, I always say about Metroid, I don't care. I really don't care why. I'm not saying I don't care. I mean, yeah, it was fun to see that. I'm just saying that like they didn't really need to explain it to me. It's fine.
No, this was a very direct sequel to a Zelda game, and they've done direct sequels before, but not this direct. I think here they might have felt a need, or at least a want, just atmosphere wise. It was just to have the mummy dwarf like sucking out your hearts.
That it was a fun visual, and yeah, I liked it. Okay, I've been holding this in for a long time. I can't keep it in any longer. I love that likes have finally made a reappearance in a way that looks cool. It isn't stupid like Ocarina of Time, where they just look like a jelly mold from mid-century like aspic jelly mold, right? But did they have to look like a pulsating butthole? Like when you, I mean, like
it's an enemy that eats shit on that eats equipment. Andre, what would you make it look like?
Okay, but are you gonna put your royal shield up your ass or something? I mean, like, I don't.
The like does. It's its whole thing.
I mean, it's literally just a butthole attached to a wall.
You light it on fire, you stab it to death, and then you collect the goodies it took from other people.
Yeah, you stab its uvula to death. It's just so weird that they look like that now.
I mean, I like it. I mean, they went from picnic baskets to those pulsating whatevers, and now they're
picnic baskets.
You tell me what they're supposed to be.
I always when I was a kid, I just envisioned it as a stack of hot dogs. Am I a weirdo? I don't know.
I see it.
You know what I mean?
And now I see it.
Yeah, SpaghettiOs maybe, or hot dogs.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Speaking of monsters, Andre.
Okay.
First time a tree came to life. Come on.
It scared the shit out of me.
No one was ready for that. I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. And I didn't have anything to chop it down with, so I tried to light it on fire, and that didn't work because it was raining. So I just ran away like a bitch. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm not fighting the tree. I was just picking apples, minding my own goddamn business. This tree comes along.
I think it's actually called something like an Evermean because I was trying to get monster pictures or whatever,
right?
And then that's what it's called. Like it's like an Evermean. Like
so it's not just a treant or something.
No, because Zelda, we gotta be cute.
It's not just the Deku trees, like illegitimate children or something.
Get over here! I just want a snack.
I was just like, ooh, a golden apple, my lucky day. Then the thing fucking comes to life.
I was not ready for that at all.
I mean, yeah, this just incredible. Okay, one gameplay thing that if you could do this in Breath of the Wild, I never found a way to do it. I swear to God, they didn't let you track side quests. I feel like they did it the old RPG way that I hate, where some person in a town tells you, hey, it sure would be nice if I had X, Y, or Z, and then like there's no indication of how to do that. I hate side questing like that. You know, not that everything for me has to be the big handholdy like Xenoblade style, which I honestly do prefer. So I'm not calling it handholdy is not a detriment. But I feel like sometimes in Breath of the Wild, they wanted you to do something and you just didn't have any clue how to do that thing.
Well, they did do this in Breath of the Wild, too. Sometimes they told you where to go look for a thing. I need you to go save my girlfriend. She's out in that field that way. And then they'd change the marker to out that way. And that would be where you would go to find the whatever you needed to do. But sometimes the other quests were vague, like, I need diamonds. I'm like, well, shit, that could pop out of anything at very rare intervals. And what are you going to do? Like, make a bazillion check marks on the map on where they could pop out?
No, they don't have to tell me where the diamonds are. That's fine. If it's like a fetch quest or turn in quest like that, that's different. I'm talking about stuff like you said, my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Where could she be? And then there's no indication of where she could be. I'm not even saying that I need the waypoint because like that's actually one of the best things about this game. If you look at the description of your quest, whether it's a main quest or otherwise, they'll tell you, okay, you need to be doing this, but they don't give you waypoints all around exactly here's where you do this and the other thing. They just tell you what you're supposed to be doing, and then you figure out how to do that thing, which I think is great. That is exactly in the spirit of Zelda. You need to do some of the legwork and brain work yourself. And it's never like, oh man, I have no idea what to do. They always tell you what to do.
So you wanted to be told a little more what to do, but not really.
Yeah, I feel like Breath of the Wild got it wrong with the side quests. You know, especially with the DLC too. Like with the motorcycle stuff, it's like I have no idea what you guys want me to do. How about you just like give me the goddamn motorcycle or whatever?
Yeah, we paid $25 for the pass. Give me the motorcycle.
Yeah, like I didn't know what they wanted me to do. Anyway, can we before we talk about building? Do we want to LOL at Ultra Hand? I mean, like, I'm sure
I love the name.
I mean, I obviously like you're only gonna know why that's funny if you're a Nintendo nerd, which we are. But like the fact that they just use Ultra Hand, okay.
What else were you gonna call it? The Power Glove?
The Spoopy Hand? I don't know. Power. Oh God, did that even come out in Japan? The Power Glove?
Probably,
huh?
Didn't Nintendo make it there? I don't know.
I feel like that was some Mattel bullshit, though, that they just, like...
It was Mattel bullshit.
Okay.
I also know the Power Glove was the name of one of the gloves in Link to the Past, too, so that would be wildly double-dipping for very different things.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Okay, well, since we're here...
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious. I mean, I know a lot of the bad take was, oh, you all seem to like it here in Tears of the Kingdom, but how come you didn't like when Banjo-Kazooie did it? Because we still did because we did Zelda. We're still doing Zelda shit. We get to leave the vehicles. Moving on from that, did we like it? Did we follow the instructions? Did we follow the rules?
I tried to, for the most part. Right, because here's why. I wanted to see what they intended us to do instead of just being like, well, I'm just going to build some stupid contraption to get across this. I wanted to see what the game, quote unquote, wanted us to do, even though the game knows full well people are going to do whatever the fuck they want, which is great. Which is how a game like this should be built. Like, you shouldn't have these... That was the problem, again, with Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. You really can't actually build whatever you want. I understand it was like 15 years ago, so you're not going to be as refined as something like A Tears of the Kingdom. At the same time, it just wasn't very fun. And then you built the contraption, and it's like, well, this is stupid. How come I can't just have a kart racer where we just do that? I don't understand why I need to build my own kart. That doesn't make it any more fun. In Tears of the Kingdom, everything you build, not that you have like a deep attachment to because it's mine, I built it, but like... You need to see how that stuff works, the physics of the game, all that stuff works in a way that naturally clicks with your brain, which, again, is very hard to do. So I guess all I'm trying to say is, yeah, I liked it. I didn't go around building crazy contraptions just because I could. And that's something that really annoyed me. I saw someone complain about the game, like they kept running out of resources, so they had to go back like the tutorial island to like kill the robots to get more like Zonai, whatever the fuck. And I'm like, I've never had that problem. Steve, you're halfway through the game. Have you ever like ran out of stuff?
I mean, whenever I'm underground, I'm getting enough Zonite to do most of the shit I want to do, so no.
Yeah, I just thought that was a weird complaint. I'm like, bro, I don't think you're meant to play like Kerbal Space Program with all your parts. Like, maybe you should just build stuff when you need to build stuff. It's a finite resource. Maybe you should treat it that way.
Well, this is where I will be a dumb. I will admit to being a dum-dum. Usually Steve likes to come on and pretend he's smart. Today, Steve is going to come out and say he's dumb. Because when I was on Tutorial Island, I could not figure out how those gliders were supposed to go for the life of me. I'm propping them up on those runways, and I could not get them to slide down. I'm getting them on the slope, and I could not catch them. And then I'm hopping on them finally, and then they're taking nosedives, or I'm flipping off of them backwards, or whatever else. And later on, I'm like, oh, good, finally I have fans. I can stick them on the back, and they'll do the work. They did not do the work.
They do the work for a little bit, and then they run out, and then you plummet because your shit's too heavy, right?
What I did finally do to make the gliders like basically be little planes was I made like a little skateboard dolly thing, one of those little shits. I slapped it underneath, stuck a bunch of fans on the back of that with a little control panel, slapped that shit onto favorites and for the auto builder that you get later on. And I'm like, okay, here's my mini plane, and I'm going to only use this when I really need to. And when I really need to, it ended up being a bunch. Like yesterday when I was in a cave and they're like, oh, bring this crystal to the end, over this course of water, and we'll get you and we'll open the shrine. And I'm like, I'm looking at this shit, the first sailboat, and they were only giving you one Korok frond, and I don't have anything else that can produce wind on me at that time. I'm like, fuck it, I'm building myself a mini plane, and it's like tailspin, carrying this crystal of Levaria. It's a tailspin, and oh look, we it counts. Give me my blessing of blight or whatever.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing. I basically crash landed the plane, if you will, into where I was supposed to do it, and it counted. And I was like, but then all my like Zonite parts, like the plane and stuff, like disappeared after that. It's like, okay, did you take like the entire thing with the crystal or what? Like, that was weird.
Well, it's weird because when you do it from auto build, it needs to take stuff around you. If it's that weird lucid green one that it leaves behind, that's temporary, and it'll even disappear on you mid-flight, as I discovered too.
That happens too. I tried to take the plane, if you will, from the Sky Island all the way out to somewhere. Eventually the plane will blink and disappear. They don't let you ride it forever.
The real plane?
Even the real one. That's the first thing I tried. I'm like, I'm going to sail to the edge of the map with this fucker. Nope. They figured my ass out real fast.
I was not smart. Because Steve is a dummy sometimes. He couldn't even figure out how to glide it as is to the next island, let alone to the edge of the map. So
they have that thing in the middle that has like a pair of feet. You have to stand literally like
I understand that, Andre, but I just use it to stick my control panel on the other plane.
Okay, but before you had that, certainly. Well, see, that's a problem. You got to put the control stick thing in front of the feet. You should still stand on the feet.
Well, yes, it was fine once I built a machine that did all that shit for me, Andre. I'm not an engineer, Andre.
I liked flying that thing naked. Maybe it was like all my hours and hours of pilot wings. God, if they ever make another pilot wings, that should be the thing. They should make you fly one of those.
Oh, God.
Through rings.
As long as they don't make me sail a raft that I also have saved to favorites. It's just 2 boards and 2 fans that I have sometimes for when I want to get across small bodies of water with a Korok.
Oh, man. Yeah, actually, I want to talk about that real quick. The little side questy, not repeatable, but the ones you see a lot, like taking the Korok to his friend, or the guy with the signs, or the, like, have you been doing a whole lot of those, or what?
Well, as many as I could find. I mean, I feel like I've been doing more Korra quests, but it says I've only got like 50 something. I probably because I've been handing them in on occasion for more inventory space. I do think it's funny how you keep running into the same fat Korok again and again. Like, my friend's over there. I'm like, why do you let yourselves get separated every time?
It's really weird. Yeah, I don't.
And why is your friend camping right next to that monster camp?
Yeah. I mean, he has a big smokestack going up. How about you just kind of waddle over there, guy? I mean, it's fine.
Doesn't that? And it looks like your backpack floats there. And no, I like the prop up the sign things too, even though it's not. Again, I'm sure if I was smart, I would be able to tell just by looking at every sign. If he lets go of it, the sign will fall this way. And no, I'm the dummy that tells him, no, just let it go. Okay, now I can do the puzzle.
Can I make a confession? I did not do a single sign quest. Not a single one.
Did you try, or did you just
I tried a couple times, and I'm like, I don't really care about this. That's fine.
But how else are you going to get in coupons for free sleeps?
Oh yeah, sleepover coupons or something, whatever the fuck they're called.
Sleepover coupons.
Yeah, I was gonna go to my friend's house this weekend, Mom, but I didn't have any more sleepover coupons, so he wouldn't let me in the door. Can we talk about pony points? Pony points.
Oh, the pony points.
Pony points. PP. How much PP do you have, Steve?
I have enough that I get all stable services for half off.
Wow. I don't know why I'm so impressed. Because, well, I am actually impressed because I have much less PP than that.
Oh, geez, Andre, you should take on more fluids then.
Hey, I can only do so much. But yeah, because, I don't really like to do... This is true of all open world games. If I can ride a horse or take a vehicle or weird shit somewhere, I don't do that. I like to go on foot everywhere, whether it's Fallout, Elder Scrolls, now Zelda, or whatever. That's just how I am in these games. So... I barely did any horse stuff in Breath of the Wild. In fact, less than barely. I didn't do any. The first time I rode a horse was fighting Calamity Ganon. Literally, I was learning how to ride the horse as I was fighting the boss, Steve.
That's sad.
Why? I don't want to ride a horse.
You know why that's sad? Because they actually look in your save data and they give you all your old horses to play with in this game right away.
Is that what happened to me? Oh.
What do you mean, is that what happened to you?
Because I had horses in my stable and I had no idea how they got there. I'm like, I didn't register any horses.
You could save up to 3 in the first game and they carry it over to this one.
You know what? Usually we kind of move on to big questions after the break. Honestly, I want to talk more Zelda. So, do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's talk more Zelda.
Okay, we'll be right back with more Tears of Your Kingdom. We are back. Steve, have you ever bathed in the tears of the kingdom?
No. But I did have some insightful conversation in the Melina bed. Ooh.
Oh no. Oh God. What was that? I think it's what village? Because you could stay in the bed or the fancy bed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then, but there was one where it's like you can have a massage or something like that. And then
that's the Goron village.
This screen fades to black, and then you hear sounds.
That's the Goron village. They beat the shit out of you.
It's like, I paid extra for this?
I don't know. You get more hearts and bigger stamina and a temporary stamina bar out of it. I thought that clearly it works.
It does. Glad we don't get to see the process. Speaking of the tiers and the kingdom, that's what I did first. I collected all the tiers of the kingdom because, God, the first time I was up in the sky and I saw the alien crop circles on the surface, I was like, holy shit, what is going on? And then, I had to do that first. I had to know.
See, I'm curious about that too, but I'm just too distracted by everything. Even if I said I too am going to just do that first, I would just be too distracted by everything else along the way.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot. And that's the great thing about the game. You can do whatever the hell you want. My friend's girlfriend, she has been basically doing exclusively the underground stuff. The depths of hell, as I keep saying. Basically just that. It's all she cares about right now, which is great. Like, you can tackle these things in so many different ways, or like you're flitting between them all.
Well, like the late Vincent Price, I like to know a little bit about practically everything.
Does that mean you can win Jeopardy?
That was for the movie people at home, but I don't know. Maybe I can do Jeopardy. Hey guys at home, should I audition for Jeopardy?
I think you can win a Mayim Bialik Jeopardy. I don't think you can win one with the dude. I think you would have just better luck with Blossom.
You'd think so.
No? The host doesn't factor into it?
Does it? I haven't seen I gotta be honest, I haven't seen a Jeopardy since Trebek passed.
I don't usually watch Jeopardy because it makes me feel fucking stupid. But I just notice, like, with the sound down or something that's on at work or something, and I see Blossom on there. That's all. I'm just saying, I would want to, if I were going to embarrass myself on Jeopardy, I would want to embarrass myself in front of her.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be embarrassed either way if I lost.
I would definitely lose. I would have, like, negative. They wouldn't even let me participate in Final Jeopardy. I wouldn't have any money. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's kind of why I've been very conservative with my place my bets lately.
Yeah, you got bold early on this show. Anyway. Have you been to any area that has, shall we say, low gravity?
Oh, they make you for a thing.
Okay.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
It was weird because lots of shit changes when you're in low gravity.
Maybe I'm a simpleton or a dullard or whatever, which is just established because I would have negative money on Jeopardy. The low gravity is more fun. I wish the whole game had those physics. The moon jumps and big, like, I loved it.
I've been in one spot where there's low gravity, and I'm hoping there's more spots with low gravity because I had fun doing that. Although I did have to go on a side quest where I was like, my wife went to a floaty bouncy place. Do you know where that is? I'm like, floaty bouncy place. I know where that is. I get to go back into the sky and do the jumpy shit again. And there she was.
Why? How did she get? You know what? Never mind. Maybe if I go back and do that side quest, maybe I'll find out. That is weird that she was up there, though.
Oh, it's not entirely weird when you think about it the way the game does.
Well, we're going to jack Kevin's question, even though he's not here. He wrote this on the sheet, and I do want to talk about this because
Kevin would want us to.
Okay, that makes it sound like he's dead. Okay, he's not. He's still alive. I promise.
That's what Kevin would want us to say.
Stop! You can't say it that way.
Just kidding. We love you, Kevin.
Okay, and he posed to us, what would Tears of the Kingdom play like on modern hardware? And he adds, what would the negative implications be of that? I'll just read his notes exactly. I'm specifically wondering as to dev resources needing to allocate towards things like higher resolution textures, more complex assets, etc. And I thought this was a very interesting question because it's tough for me to imagine because the art style and the literal crafting of the world is entirely predicated by the Switch hardware, as is Nintendo's MO. They build stuff to the hardware. Like, there's no way in the world Luigi's Mansion didn't predicate the GameCube hardware, right? It had to have.
Oh, they've gone over that it has.
Okay, yeah, like, oh, we're making Super Mario World. The system should have this and this and this. You know, like they do that all the time. Now, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom is not a launch game, but they craft stuff to the hardware. So I'm not even necessarily talking about if it were 4K or 60 frames a second or anything like that. Like, absolutely. But the lighting model, which is already great because, you know, you've been underground, you see how robust that stuff is, and that would get a big boost. And the game already does like pretty convincingly fake volumetric effects with the clouds and stuff. Like, obviously they're billboards, but they look really good. And for the stuff that needs to look good, you said you've done a couple of Sages, right? You've seen what happened, the scene that happens after you do that, and there's a lot of clouds. That stuff is just movies, in-engine movies, because they know they can't render that stuff out in real time because the Switch would catch fire. So all those fog effects, they made really good use of in-engine movies. I keep wanting to say pre-rendered, but that's obviously not what I mean. But you know what I mean. This game is crafted so smartly in that way. So if it were on, let's say, PS5, I'm not sure it would be beneficial to the look of the game. You know, think about all those like rustic textures and rocks and like the way those platforms, those Zonai platforms look in the Sky Islands and stuff. Like, would those look right? I don't know, Steve.
I think you pretty much nailed it, Andre. Zelda in particular is usually built around whatever we're making it for at the time. And while I don't mind going back and replaying them when they're reissued, I feel like all I'd really want in a PS5 port would be, like you said, more consistent performance and faster load times because, oh my God, every time I go into a shrine and every time I finish a shrine.
You got to admit, we're spoiled with PS5 now. We're spoiled.
I'm like, oh, look, I suddenly have time to take a piss again.
Yep. I mean, it's not New Vegas loading, but it's loading, man.
Oh, I died again. I guess I can. I guess I can read a text or two.
Yeah, we're spoiled, man. We're spoiled.
I mean, that's all I really want. You got fucking Jaffe like putting on his game developer hat again, going, should games really be looking like this in 2023? I'm sitting there like, there's a reason why they took God of War away from you, buddy.
And nobody would ever dare ask you to do another Twisted Metal because fuck you, man. You know what's funny, though? Speaking of that dickhole, David Jaffe, every other developer on Twitter is playing Tears of the Kingdom being like, I have no idea how they're accomplishing this. I have no fucking idea. But he's the one being like, should games really look this low res? And it's like, shut up, dude.
I mean, everyone else is marveling over shit like, you know, the sky and how well bridges and shit work. The dumbasses in the comments going, who cares? It's just a bridge. Like, yeah, it takes a lot of effort to make it look like not a lot of effort.
People don't understand the stuff that is going on under the hood here as far as like physics go. And stuff like that. That stuff is very expensive on hardware. Expensive in the terms of like it's taxing.
I mean, the magic glue they give you with the Ultra Hand to stick shit together. the glue, the magic green glue they give you there. That didn't just magically exist in the game. I'm sure that took forever to make work the way it did.
And that's a perfect lead to what I kind of wanted to say next is that it came out maybe a couple weeks ago that the game was done in March 2022. they said. But they spent a year and change polishing it. And you can tell. It can't be overstated enough how this game just fucking works. It doesn't glitch out. It doesn't memory leak. It doesn't let you arbitrarily not do stuff. It being like the engine, like, oh, you can't fuse those things together just because we said, because the game will break, right? No, you could pretty much do whatever your mind thinks of.
Look, you might remember it's not even a year yet. Remember Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and how that game was not unplayable, but broken as shit?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked, but a lot of things about it didn't. And there's things that it does and still doing, and sometimes it'll do different shit for nothing at all. This is the difference when you're able to give time and put that shit in there. Granted, I haven't been as creative as some of my fellow players, and this is where I'll admit I haven't been able to build a Hilden Link and bomb Kakariko Village, or build that Korok Rotisserie. Did you see that one under?
Unfortunately.
But there's just been plenty of things I've been able to do that I'm sure, we just would have said, you're not allowed to do that, or just would have force quit in the attempt, because before updates, Pokemon Scarlet has force quit for less. I gotta say.
Yeah. Again, Tears of the Kingdom on a technical level is incredible. Can't say that enough. Can we talk about Lurelane Village real quick? Because I tried to save Lurelane Village like twice, and both times I couldn't find any more guys to kill. The meter was like a tick left. It was almost depleted. I ran all around that bitch, all up and down that beach for like 20, 30 minutes, and I couldn't, because you can't leave, because you know what'll happen. If you warp, they'll all respawn. So it's like, I give up. Sorry, I tried twice. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not trying this anymore. So I let Lurelane Village rot. I couldn't find anyone else to kill.
Did you look in the well?
Yeah.
Oh, because that was the first guy I killed. And it was actually the last guy I killed too, because I knocked a white bokoblin in the well, thinking, okay, well, he's dead now. And then I killed everybody else, and then I still had a little bit of the meter left. And I'm looking around, all around, like, there's no way that fucker's still alive. I knocked him down into the thing. There he was, staring at the wall. And I just knocked the shit out of him.
For a game that's like very polished, that was weirdly sloppy. I was like, okay, I don't know what to do here, and I'm not trying again. So forget it.
Look, I'll tell you. I'll give you another Steve is stupid story. This was late at night, and one of the other side quests they give you to help rebuild the town is, I need some fresh logs, not wood logs, like chop down trees, bring the logs back. Of course, if only there was an easier way to bring back logs. I'm like, wait, I have a horsey. I can use the horse to bring back logs. No, my horse is, even if I build a rudimentary cart and things to stick wood on, it was nuts. It refused to pull a cart full of logs, and you can't bring extra horses to pull the logs, much as I tried. So enter Steve building a Flintstones-esque thingamajig where we move logs down to town that way instead.
So you're telling me everyone gets in the car and like Flintstone style, like with their feet, like the.
No, I wish, but I'm building this thing. It's like a board with the big wheels on it and the control panel. And by the time I'm done stacking logs on it, it sort of looked like a Flintstones car.
Throw a rack of ribs on there and just.
I kind of wish that's what they did over at in the Goron Village. They make you play with the mine carts, which yes, that's on theme, but. I was kind of hoping that they would have like Flintstones cars up there after the upheaval. Hey there, Goron Barney. Let's go to the shed and get ourselves a nice sirloin roast.
Don't you mean, let's get a nice sirloin roast, Goro?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the cutscenes and stuff and voices, all that stuff was great. And for the first time, I know I'm going to sound like a dick, I was actually interested in what was happening in Zelda. I don't ever really care what. Sorry, look, I never usually care what's happening in Zelda. Triforce, blah, 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 8 pieces of this. Who cares? 6 ages. I don't give a shit, right? But in this game, I did. And I meant to say this earlier when you were talking about the intro. Why is Zelda not just British, but like painfully British? She's like more British than like Shulk.
Because she was 100 fighting Ganon for 100 years, and it's a lot of hard. You know, that's what happens when you have that proverbial sword up your ass all that time.
She just got so high and mighty because of the, well, I can't say because story, but yeah, like, come on. Like, I don't know why she was like super British. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed the story of this game. That's part of the reason why I went to go get all the Tears of the Kingdom first. I was super interested. I had to know. And I can't ever recall at any point in Breath of the Wild caring what was going on story-wise. Never did. Which, again, is fine. It's not even a knock on the game. I just don't... That's just not what I'm there for.
You didn't like the awkward romance between Mipha and Zelda and Link?
Mipha and Zelda?
Oh, that would have been even worse.
I think you just told everyone your ship.
Oh no, the real ship is Sidon and Link.
Oh, we know that. Jesus Christ, man.
And although that didn't work out so well either, he shows up and is like, I have a fiance. Isn't that wonderful, Link? Please
Link,
be happy for me. I need someone to be happy for me.
Link is trying to hide his disappointment.
Oh, it's okay. I can... everyone loves me. I can literally bang anyone else.
But I want to fuck the fish, said Guillermo del Toro. I feel like Sidon 6 years ago awakened everybody. There was something about him Link riding on his back that everyone just went wild over. I feel like that triggered something in people's brains. Like, oh,
I don't know. I don't even think it was just that. I think it was just the whole, he just pops up and he's like, hey, I believe in you, buddy.
Is it the smile with the
with the complete smile and a sheen going on there? How do you not fall in love with that?
I mean, look, if you don't like Sidon, I mean, what can I say? You know, a game has you by the balls though when it permeates your real life in a way that is like weird. Like, you know, I was walking to the store the other day and, you know, I live in a mountainous area. I look at the mountains in the background. I'm like, oh, I can climb that. 10 minutes tops. 5 if I have a stamina elixir. Come on. I could do that.
2-liter of Pepsi is not a stamina elixir.
Oh, says you. Actually, it is not. That just creates pony points.
I was going to say, even my big bottles of Smart Water wouldn't give me that much stamina.
There's these like wooden slats and stuff, this sort of leftover construction stuff on my walk to work, and I just look at that stuff like, how can I like glue these together to make you know, like you just see stuff like that in real life sometimes. It's like, oh.
Well, somehow I don't think those are free use. I think if you took those and made a makeshift cart out of them, you'd be in trouble.
Oh, nobody will care. They've been sitting there for a long time. I'm pretty sure no one will give a shit.
Sir, 3 cinder blocks and a whole bunch of planks were taken. There'll be no orphanage then. I'll tell the children.
Because they lost their 2 slats that I made a stupid like makeshift basketball hoop out of.
And then a Koron pops out. Yeah, you found me.
As soon as I lift it up. Okay, there is one negative here, and you're going to yell at me. I know you are, but I think the weakest aspect of Tears of the Kingdom is that the combat kind of sucks. I'm sorry to be that harsh about it. Yeah, see, listen to him, everybody. He's sighing at me already.
Because this is a podcast, I will be nice, and I will let Andre tell me why that is the case before I yell at him.
Well, you don't have to be nice. You can interrupt me at any time. Tell me how wrong and dumb I am. Okay, so I want to start here. basically, the combat in Zelda hasn't changed since Ocarina of Time. It's the same shit. I didn't think it was that good in Ocarina of Time. But that's fine. I dislike Ocarina of Time for other reasons which you don't have to go into right now. But combat wasn't really one of them. It wasn't great, but it was also 1998. Now it's 2023. We can move past that. Lock on. We still call it Z targeting. Why do we do that? We haven't had a Z button in forever. Yeah, it's ZL and ZR, but you know what I mean. Like, we still do that for a reason, because it's the same shit. You circle strafe around somebody, you can dodge in very awkward and lazy directions. I say lazy because it feels like very sluggish when you do it. It doesn't feel nimble. Again, I don't need this to be like Devil May Cry, but Zelda, as far as combat goes, simply isn't keeping up with the times. It's really backwards. The only time I've ever liked combat that much in Zelda, in 3D Zelda, is Wind Waker, especially since they play it up with all the orchestra hits and stuff like that. Like, it sounds cool.
Okay, I was about to come over like as if you're going to say that about Wind Waker. We're going to have some.
What? I mean,
I'm going to beat you for real.
It's fine. Okay, well, look, why is this like good for you? Is it just like
it's not amazing, but I wasn't gonna come on and say, oh, this is bad.
It's not. It sucks. I'm sorry. It's not like the absolute fucking worst. It's just kind of sucky.
I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna court it and ask it to spend the rest of my life with it, but I mean, it's fine. It's addressed some of the issues we've had with the Breath of the Wild with crafting, even though I do have an issue with that, which is I can't do it from the menu. Why can't I just...
Oh my god, that should be a thing.
Why do I have to drop shit on the floor and then fuse it? Why can't I just...
That is so annoying. See, okay, I'm glad you said that. I thought I was being a dumbass and I was missing something. But no, you really have to do it that way.
I mean, it's great because a lot of not so great weapons become pretty okay if you have those horns around, but no, I mean, it's fine. You get, I like going onto encampments, seeing if there's the TNT barrels around, blowing them up, seeing the one monster go, who the fuck did that? And then going in for the rest. I like it, Andre. They
don't even kill, those hardly even kill them half the time. It just blows up and it looks fun. And then it's just like, okay, they caught on fire for a second. They should be dead if you nail something like that. That's also the thing. Damage feels very bizarre. It doesn't feel great, especially at the beginning, when enemies can just destroy you in a hit or two if you're lucky. You know, Steve, how much I hate when games make you feel like a piece of shit weakling. You feel like that a lot of the time in this game, especially even when you get, like, some better armor or whatever. Like, when guys just, like, you have like 7 hearts and some stupid lizard can stab you for all 7. Come on, man. Like, I don't want to fight this stupid thing like perfectly without getting hit. Like, Jesus Christ.
You gotta make the food, Andre.
That should be a supplement, not like a requirement for fighting basic enemies.
I guess I'm a little more hardened because, again, I've been playing hard mode this whole time on Tears of the Kingdom in and out, and they hit you way harder there. So I guess I'm just more, this is fine.
It's not fine. It's out of whack. And I get it. They want you to go to the Great Fairy and upgrade your shit and whatever. But still, I don't know. None of that stuff should be a requirement. All that stuff should be supplemental. I shouldn't be getting hit for 10 hearts by like a dumb lizard. That's not cool.
If he's so dumb, how come he's hitting you for all your hearts?
One hit. I have to perfect every enemy or die.
Sounds like he was more prepared than you.
Oh, yeah, the game prepared him for that. That also kind of brings me to this. I feel like the rewards for fighting enemies is almost nothing. If you go, those encampments you just mentioned, okay, I go in there, I blow them up, I kill a really hard enemy, I get a bunch of stupid toenails, and like I get to open a chest that has 5 arrows in it. Okay, like, so what? I understand that it's hard to do loot in an open world game and make it feel rewarding. That's one of the hardest things to do. But Zelda does not do it at all, even by those standards. I feel like opening a lot of like any chests that you could get from fighting is just not worth it. Have you ever found anything cool at an encampment? Seriously.
I found some interesting weapons stapled to each other. I probably wouldn't have thought to do at first, but no, well, I think that's part of the conceit this time. You're not going to find things like the flame halberd this time because they want you to build that shit yourself.
Yeah, but like they could still give you that. I don't think that takes away from like building a flame emitter club or some shit.
Look, I had fun strapping an opal onto a Zoro spear and then going, drown in water, bitches. It's fun.
That is fun.
You staple the sword onto your other sword, and then you have a big sword, or you grab a spear onto your other spear, and it's like you make sure everyone's giving you personal space after that. It's like no, go away, stay away, stay away. Nope, dumb shit like that.
The charged up hits don't feel like they hit also very well for like charging up. It's like it doesn't feel like worth doing.
Most times it doesn't, though.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of stuff like that with combat that I just don't think is very good and kind of ultimately comes out sucky. It doesn't matter. The game is fucking great, right? You can have sucky combat and have a great game as this game proves. So boss battles are great, though. We'll say that. Boss encounters are great.
Yeah, I guess I fought two things that were called bosses, and thank God they're not Phantom Ganons this time.
Okay, to cap off this discussion of Tears of the Kingdom, I just want to ask you this, because it's been something I've been thinking about since the game came out, and that is this Zelda now? We do weird physics puzzles, and we talk to weird people, and we maybe fight every so often. Like, we're never going back, are we? Like,
Andre?
What?
Are you really one of those people?
What?
Where things change ever so slightly and it's not Zelda anymore?
It's not.
Oh no, the game is in 3D. It's not Zelda anymore. Oh no, the game is cel-shaded. It's not Zelda anymore. The game is on my Game Boy. It's not Zelda anymore.
Okay, first of all, shut up. You know I'm not that guy. Okay? I accept Zelda for all these things. I'm not saying Tears of the Kingdom isn't Zelda. I'm just saying we have reached a new paradigm that I don't think we can come back from. Like, okay, I'll use this example because this is how I think of it. Resident Evil, we're in Act 3 of Resident Evil, right? Act 1 was the first 6 games, right? 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, all those, right? 0, 2002. Those, the ones I love. The ones that were like my favorite series ever. And then Resident Evil 4 happens. It's not survival horror anymore. It's action horror, whatever you want to define it as. And that's 4, 5, and 6. That's like Act 2 of Resident Evil, the big budget action game era. And now we're in a third act, the first person back to real horror kind of thing with 7 and 8. So I think Zelda is in its third act. First act was, the 80s and 90s, right? Until we get to Ocarina of Time. Then we have the 5 3D games, and now we have Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom, the open world era. I just don't see a way, Steve, where we can go back to making another Wind Waker or Twilight Princess kind of game. Not that I'm saying that I want them to necessarily, but I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, do you feel there's still room for that kind of thing? Obviously there's room for that kind of thing in like Resident Evil. We have Resident Evil 2 remake and stuff like that. So like if they really want to do it, they can, right? But you tell me I'm dumb. I know you're looking at me like you dumb prick.
Look, Andre, weird puzzles, weird people. This has been Zelda the whole fucking time.
I'm not saying this isn't Zelda. This is Zelda.
I know, but okay. And I think we're still going to have Zelda. It's still going to be Zelda. Yes, we had 2 games of big ass Hyrule because you don't make that big ass Hyrule once and then, throw it to the side. We don't need it anymore. That shit took an entire console generation to make. You're going to use it more than once. but Zelda, which is always Zelda, and I think Zelda has held more to its identity more than anything else over the years, just more than just about. And really, I think it'll be just about time to have a relook all over again and see what Zelda does the next time. And, it would be good if they listen to the people that are really reaching over, like, it'd be great if we can make it like the Inti Creates who piped in however long ago and said they want to remake Zelda 2. Like, I think there's room for the occasional spin-off project just because they can't have Zelda just disappear forever in between these things. There's going to be the occasional reissues and things. I mean, I'm hoping we see a thing for Link Between Worlds again sometime soon, just because heaven forbid everyone just starts going like, oh no, I have to steal it even though GameStop has thousands of copies of it sitting in the store.
What are you doing right now? What's happening? What are you talking about?
What am I? Zelda's fine. It's going to go all over the place. Just have faith.
People stole. Never mind. I'll ask you about that later. Going back to my Resident Evil example, yeah, I mean, they've done Resident Evil 2 remake. That was great. They did Resident Evil 3 remake. That wasn't so great. Resident Evil 4, never really liked in the first place, so I can't really judge that. But, yeah, there's always room for that. Obviously, we had Link's Awakening 2019. So, there is room for that, right? You know what it is? I just figured it out. I want a new art style. I don't want it to look like this again. They can keep doing this kind of game. It needs to look different.
With new hardware, I'm sure they'll look at it again.
No, it doesn't even have anything to do with power. I just think that, I'm not even saying they need to go back to, Green Tunic Link or anything like that in the next one. I'm just saying that, I want this shit to look different. That would go a long way for me. I didn't get bored of looking at Tears of the Kingdom or whatever, but I am definitely now ready for a different look.
We'll get one soon enough, I'm sure.
All right. Are you tears? Are you out of tears? No more tears? Because
I am dried, yes.
Okay. When we come back, we'll talk PlayStation Showcase and a couple other things. BRB. We are back. We have replenished our tiers. Steve, do you have more tiers?
Working on building that up. I might have some PP first, though, but that'll probably come back first.
PP always replenishes before tiers. What? Okay, let's talk about this PlayStation Showcase. We're not really going to go through the showcase game by game or anything, because honestly, there was a lot of criticism levied at this event. Well, because while nobody was saying it was outright bad, many felt like it was a missed opportunity, including myself. But I want you to talk first about it, because you kind of echo the common complaints about it.
I mean, it would have been nice if some of the games were coming this year, or if some of the games were actually showing some gameplay and not footage that is not gameplay.
CG.
No, I'm reading the bottom of the thing in the plain white text.
Oh, yeah, that they put at all the... Well, they started with all this stuff is captured on PS5, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't think so, man.
And, it's like Andre went over. Come on. This is the time.
Microsoft is on the ropes, right? Nintendo doesn't have a whole lot going on right now. Who knows what they have for the rest of the year? I mean, we might get a direct that'll tell us otherwise and make us shut the fuck up, but...
Pikmin 4. After that, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And this could have been Sony's moment mid-generation to be like, blow everyone out of the water. And they didn't really do that. I think John Linneman said it best. It felt like an Xbox One era presentation where it was like where Microsoft would show a bunch of third-party stuff that's also coming to PS4, right? But they just kind of try to pretend it's theirs because, they have the marketing on it, and like a couple of exclusives sprinkled in.
And how appropriate is that comment? Because a lot of these games are also coming to PS4.
Coming to Xbox Series X.
Oh no, a lot of them are also coming to PS4.
What? I don't remember.
I felt like I saw it enough to.
I don't remember seeing that at all. But anyway, I do want to push back on people complaining about the CG trailer stuff because honestly, I don't think that's a problem. As long as we know it's CG and like look at it, it is, right? I understand it's not gameplay. I don't think everything needs to be gameplay in a presentation. It's fine if you have some CG trailers. Now, if you thought they were too much, okay, fine. But I'm not going to complain about that the way other people are. That's one thing I will push back on. Otherwise, yeah, this could have been better. I did definitely like what was here, though. I enjoyed watching the presentation, for sure.
I mean, I like Neva. It's from the people who made Grease, which I finally played earlier this year. It looked great.
Oh, the big white horsey?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be great. I'm even going to be nice and omit some of the other things I was going to say. And just say, man, I hope it's good. But something else that stood out, and not in the best way, Foamstars. Now, I've been waiting for someone to take on Splatoon forever, especially since Splatoon 3 hit 10 million in the first week or whatever that was.
First weekend even. Now, I definitely wasn't expecting Square Enix to be the first somebody to do that. And I gotta say, I don't know if vague sex appeal is going to be enough to move everyone over. I mean, I think there could be a chance if it's good and it's not microtransaction-y like Chocobo Kart was. I actually really enjoy the way Foamstars looked. It looked like it was making good on that Destruction All-Stars aesthetic, but like an actual good game that we want to play. I don't know. It looked fun.
Yeah, but if we go in and they're like, give us $2 and your tank's a little bigger, then...
No, I don't think these games will do pay to win. You get dinged really bad. They'll just do cosmetics. I don't feel... We're also assuming this is like a free-to-play game. It very well may not be, but it has free-to-play written all over it.
I don't know what I'm assuming. I'm assuming all kinds of bad things about this. I mean, I'll try a beta. There's no way they're going to just drop it on us, right?
No.
There's no way they can just walk out and say, here's Foamstars on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. That was one of the games that's on both. And I'm like, I don't know, guys.
What else did you... Anything else notable, real quick?
I liked Phantom Blade Zero. I thought it looked pretty neat. I mean, that's Zero, and then I was there, and then I had to look it up. Apparently, they've been enjoying these in China for years. It's something for me to keep an eye on. I don't know. It stood out in a thing that really didn't have a whole lot of standouts.
There's been a weird thing recently where these Chinese games that have been around since the 80s and 90s are now having entries here. What was that one? Sword and Fairy? You ever hear of that? Yeah. Sword and Fairy? There's Sword and Fairy 7 for PS5 or something like that. And it's what the fuck is Sword and Fairy? Anyway, notables for me, Talos Principle 2, I was because I remember when it came on, I was like, oh shit, this looks like the Talos Principle. No way, this is way too high budget. This would never be the Talos Principle. Holy shit, it's the Talos Principle 2. Holy fuck. Blew me away. Fooled me. Dragon's Dogma 2 looked rough, Steve. That looked like a game from 2016.
Look, I gave the Switch version a chance, but I thought it was way too up its own ass after 10 hours or so. I'm like, okay, if you people all enjoy it, that's fine, but I'm not going to mess with this shit anymore. And I'm looking at this trailer, I'm like, oh, it's not just the Switch version. This is what the sequel looks like.
Yeah, buddy, that shit looks kind of rough. They're going to have to, I'm sure it's using RE Engine, so it'll be fine in the end. But man, okay, we watch occasional movies on the show, Steve. We're going to have to watch the Gran Turismo movie, right?
Oh, this is inevitable.
Yeah. I cannot believe Helldivers 2 was real. Remember that fake leak I showed you guys a couple weeks ago? And it had Helldivers 2 on there. I'm like, fuck you. There's no Helldivers 2. Sure enough, there it was.
Oh, to be fair, there was other really fake looking shit on there.
And they were all fake. It said like Killzone, like a Killzone reboot. That shit was like hella fake.
Neo Twisted Metal.
Yeah. It's like, get out of here. I like the original Helldivers a lot. Me and Vin played that back in, Jesus Christ, 2015. Oh my God. I think like 2016 at the latest. Yeah, I'm here for Helldivers 2. Stellar Blade didn't make it, was like a no-show. That was weird. Remember Stellar Blade? It was called Project Eve and they renamed it Stellar Blade. It was like the Korean action lady action blade thing, right?
I feel like there was any number of things it was sort of time to have a look at again, but we didn't.
Yeah. I think it's easy to say, though, that Metal Gear Solid Triangle, Snake Eater, or whatever, Delta, I don't care. I'm going to call it Triangle. And the collection probably got the biggest pop online from what I saw.
Yeah, well, Snake Eater's my favorite one, so no pressure, whoever isn't in Hideo Kojima Studios making this game.
Kept me guessing. I kept saying Metal Gear Solid 4 was going to be the thing to be like ported, but I was saying that was going to be a Blue Point game, which I guess it still could be. But I guess this is like MGS3 done by Konami proper, which I don't really trust nowadays, but who knows? So
this is where I'm going to say, I kept seeing the things eating each other. Remember that game on Wii, Dangerous Creatures?
Yeah. Was that the thing where you fight the big like tarantula, like the first boss? Yeah. And like, okay, yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, someone's remaking that, and I'm here for that. And then they played Snake Eater. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm more here for that. Never mind.
I did like that game, Dangerous Creatures. Did you? I will see when they were eating, the animals are eating each other. I was thinking of Tokyo Jungle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the presentation, Alan Wake 2 was revealed to be a digital-only game, with Remedy Entertainment's reasoning being they wanted to keep the price down to $60, because if they did a physical, they would be forced to make it $70. Certain people, we know who they all are up in arms about this. Do we want to yell at them?
Yeah, I do want to yell at them. Okay? Like, people are just pretending to care about this. Not just it being digital only, but caring about Alan Wake. You don't give a fuck. You just want a crusade to hang on. Like, I had some dickhead. Well, this guy was in your mentions too, talking about what a principal stand he's taking and shit like that. Right? Do you remember that guy? I'm like, shut up. It's a video game. Get the fuck over yourself. Like, you know what they do? They fire off their stupid little tweets about what good and ethical little consumers they are to corporations, and then they go play more Overwatch and more Stardew Valley or whatever else they don't have a physical of. Like, all of you are liars and fucking fakes. Every single one of you say that shit. Stop pretending you're not going to buy a game that you were never going to buy in the first place. I don't want to hear it. Games come out digital only all the time. So what?
I will be good cop to Andre's bad cop here and say, I like physical games. We all know I like physical games. But it's not always practical to release physical games anymore. I still didn't play the first Adam Wake, but I know well enough that this is Adam Wake. Alan Wake. See, I didn't play the game. If I did, I'd know the guy's. I know the asshole's name.
Adam Wake would be such a different game. Anyway,
I know enough that this is a fucking miracle, and you gotta jump on that shit if you're interested. I paid full price for digital only Ace Attorney 5 and 6 over a decade ago, so I wouldn't get them ruined. So, and more recently, yes, it would have been nice to have the Famicom Detective Club and a nice Switch card, but I bought that shit on. I bought those as two separate apps on Nintendo Switch on the store there. It's something you got to do if you're just interested in shit that you know is not going to happen. You can wait for a sale if you want, and really, I wouldn't put it past Limited Run to be doing their thing and snapping this up as soon as this year's presentation, to be honest. But if the option is digital or nothing, you got to be thankful for something to exist in the first place sometimes.
I just hate one, I agree with everything you said. Two, I just hate the fucking idiots who just won't shut up. Like, it's so bad for preservation. What if the store goes down? Bitch, as if the internet doesn't exist. Everything is forever now. What are you talking about?
Alan Wake 2 is not going to be $60 digital the whole time. There's going to be sales like every few months on that shit. If you really don't want to pay $60, just wait.
Yeah, what does the price point have to do with anything anyway? Like, I don't know. It's weird to me, but what do I know? Real quick, Bungie revealed Marathon, which is like a reboot of their old IP. Do you know what Marathon is, Steve, by the way?
Barely. I barely know what it is.
Okay. I only know what it is because he re-released a bunch of them on Xbox 360, so I played the originals or whatever with, like, you know, through those versions, I guess. But, like, now it's like a PvP extraction shooter. Steve, what the fuck is an extraction shooter?
I was hoping you were going to tell me.
I don't know. Is that like Rainbow Six where you do like a mission and then like extract? I have no idea what that means.
Extracted my dick.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw the Bungie logo, my mind immediately went, is this Marathon? Even though it looked nothing like Marathon. Because like take that as an indication of how creatively bankrupt they are right now, that they're just going back to that, even though it has nothing to do with Marathon. And that's kind of my point. This is going to please nobody. People who remember Marathon, which is not very many people, are going to buy this and be like, this isn't Marathon. What the fuck is this? And then nobody else will care because they're like, what the fuck is Marathon? Right? So this is destined to please nobody, if you ask me.
I don't know. I think if you release both, it released the same weekend as the Suicide Squad game, you're in for a double feature of games no one's going to give a shit about.
Oh, people will care about the Suicide Squad game. I think maybe that should be one of Kevin's place your bets in the future. But I actually do think people will play that. Nobody's going to care about Marathon. It's also on Xbox Series X and S, and it's like, what the fuck did you guys buy Bungie for then? Like, whatever. Do you remember that? Okay, I don't even remember the name of it. Is it called like Fair Games or something like that? That thing they showed at the beginning of this presentation, and that was a PS5 exclusive. Fair Games. You remember this? Am I making that up? I thought it was Payday 3.
It's something, and I did think it was Payday.
Yeah, so it's like
and it's going to be on PC too. So, wait, is it getting an Xbox version?
No, that was an exclusive.
Because I know they don't put the Xbox logos on those presentations. Okay,
I think it's time to talk about the handheld thing we saw.
So yeah, right before Spider-Man the Hedgehog's extended look came on.
Wow.
Jim Ryan came on and was all, we're always innovating at Sony. Look, we got wireless earbuds and Project Q. You can play your games anywhere.
What? Is that the Jim Ryan voice?
I didn't have too much time.
No,
sorry.
That's perfect. No, that's better than his actual voice.
And there's a big old asterisk we got to stick at anywhere, because anywhere is anywhere you have Wi-Fi, because it's going to pair with the PS5 you have at home. It's not its own handheld. From everything we've seen, it's what we went over and mocked a few shows ago. It's a 8-inch 1080p screen with a DualSense grafted on that's going to play the PlayStation 5 games you have at home and running already using remote play. Why? Who's going to buy this?
I don't understand. It looks like crap. It looks fake almost, right? It literally just looks like someone took an iPad and like cut a DualSense in half and slapped it on there. That's all it is. It doesn't have it. It almost doesn't even look like a real product. It looks like a mock-up.
But they're saying it's coming this fall, Andre. So
why would anyone reveal hardware this way, though? Oh, here it is. Okay, bye. Like, they don't even believe in this.
No, this reeks of look, just get it out. We'll write the failure off on our taxes, and we'll move on with our lives. The homebrew people will come up with real shit to do with it. It'll be okay. We'll move on.
I want to know if it has any guts, like actual anything in there. Like, I want to know the actual power of this machine.
Andre, I looked as hard as I could. It's like it's just a husk. It looks like. I mean, yeah. I'm sure we'll get better information as we get closer. But it's just a fancy Wii U gamepad.
Is it Zonai powered? I mean,
if it was Zonai powered, I'm sure the Wi-Fi would work better than you told me it did on Vita.
I mean, but see, that's the thing. I have to use work Wi-Fi, or I'm at the mall or something like that. I'm using Wi-Fi, right? Like, those are the situations in which people want to use this thing, not the perfect Wi-Fi environment. And if it doesn't work in those, then what's the point?
And if I'm at home in a different room, I'd rather have the Switch, which is already here. And that's something I have to pay another. They didn't give a price, but I'm going to assume it's at least $200.
Yeah. I mean,
at least.
Real quick to just wrap with the showcase thing, The Last of Us Factions was a complete no-show at this thing. And then 2 days later, Jason Schreier reported that, I quote, Naughty Dog has significantly scaled down the team on its Last of Us multiplayer project, sources say, as it reassesses the game. Following Bloomberg's request for comment, the company put out a Twitter statement today saying that the game was delayed. End quote. That doesn't sound good. Is this game even coming out? I mean...
I think it might, but not anytime soon.
I think I also saw that they asked Bungie, now that they're Sony people, they asked Bungie for help on this since they do live service stuff now exclusively. And Bungie's like, I don't know, dog. I don't think this is very good, and I think that was part of the reason for a delay.
I mean, if it's that bad, I'm just imagining Fallout 76 too. Where it doesn't work that badly.
So yeah, that was the PlayStation Showcase. So there were some interesting topics around it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. A little bit of a missed opportunity, but not bad. I'll give it a higher score than most.
So something that wasn't in the showcase, and I kind of wish was the Alone in the Dark presentation or trailer or whatever they want to call it, just sprung up.
Yeah, it was live too. I only know this because my pal Patrick, he appeared with me on the Dead Space post-game show this winter. He told me about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it. But yeah, it was a full-on THQ Nordic presentation on this thing, which I didn't even know this was a real thing. I didn't know they were rebooting Alone in the Dark.
I didn't either, and I finally watched the presentation. It played more like a bonus feature on a DVD. They focused more on the actors playing the protagonists, and there was some chatter who made the original Alone in the Dark long ago. Not a lot about the game, but they did give us a prologue demo, Grace in the Dark. Somehow, I think this is a very rare time where both of those things as a set sold me on this game. I want this game, Andre.
Yeah, I really want this game too. I've never been the biggest Alone in the Dark person, obviously, because they're mostly for PC, and I didn't really game on PC. And I had Alone in the Dark New Nightmare for Dreamcast, which, I guess is divisive in the Alone in the Dark community. I liked it well enough. It's just for what it was. I thought for sure you were going to rip apart this demo for taking longer to download than it was to play, because this demo is really short. It's seriously 5 minutes and it's over.
Okay, but you know what? They don't make Grace stand alone in the room and say, okay, use the control stick to walk from one place to another. Good job. Now use the X button to examine something. Way to go. Use the right control stick to turn the camera around. Ooh, nice. They don't dick around. They give you a taste of the game. Some creepy shit happens in the mansion where you get a demonstration, a demo, if you will, of what we're going to expect from the game in October. At least I hope that's what we're going to expect from the game in October. And it's done. We don't have demos like that anymore, is what I'm trying to get at, as opposed to other demos I played on this show where they don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. I think the game's unique look is cool. Like they really retain that Alone in the Dark look. Like if you saw it in the presentation where they were going back and showing old Alone in the Darks, this new game really does look like that. They retained it. Also, the setting is unique. It seems to be Louisiana-ish, according to those accents. It's definitely the South. Definitely
somewhere down there.
And it's certainly at least 100 years ago. This is certainly pre-World War II.
The lady shows up in a car, so we're definitely in the 20th century.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. It's not like everyone has a car or even a phone. Like they talk about posting a letter. And
oh yeah, that's the whole impetus for this demo. She's going to post that letter. Yeah, I don't know. I'm into it. I hate this to sound rude. I'm kind of surprised this game even has a budget. They have real actors playing these people.
That's the Embracer parent family for you.
You're telling me this podcast they have a budget if we got into the Embracer group?
I don't know. We might have been replaced by Andrew and Sven, though. Kevin would get to stay, though.
Yeah, he's all the Americans can go. Other English speaking countries can stay. Real fast before we get out of here, there was also a Marvelous Game Showcase, which we were fairly interested in. I mean, we like that weeby shit. This is stuff we couldn't talk about with Kevin around. There wasn't a whole lot in it. I do want to bring up two things real fast. Is that they showed two games that didn't have a name. There was Project Magia, I think, and Project Life is RPG. And all they were is here's some concept drawings. Okay, bye. I mean, they looked interesting, right? But
well, it's really interesting because the presentation format for this thing was the president and CEO of Marvelous Entertainment asks creators and other developers to pitch us, the viewers, the game. And okay, that's actually pretty neat. But when you're just walking up with, here's some character art and some potential backgrounds.
It's by this famous guy who did art for Fairy Tale and whatever. It's okay, cool. But
I mean, and Project Life is RPG. I mean, okay, you clearly trace Xenoblade a little bit, but if you saw the game, I might change my mind. You don't know, you don't even have a CG trailer for me there. I mean,
yeah.
How am I going to get excited about that?
It's weird. I mean, it was a weird presentation. I mean, but it was kind of a goofy presentation too. It was really stiff, but then they had that voice actor talking over them too, doing really funny voice actor stuff.
I gotta give them an at least they tried award.
Yeah. The real interesting thing though was Daemon X Machina sequel revealed at the end, Titanic Scion, and I guess it's a sequel, but they didn't announce any platforms. And my thing with the original was this is a cool game, but the Switch is chugging under its might. I kind of want to play this on real hardware. If that comes to PS5 or something, I'm in.
I think Marvelous published this on Steam, and I think that's about when Nintendo was we don't really need this that badly. And they were kind of happy to just pass it on. And yeah, I guess Marvelous is taking it on from here. And I didn't play the first one yet, but it sounds like I have time because this was also very early in development because all we saw was some gears grinding and things sparking and not a whole lot of...
We saw robot.
we saw element of robot. So I got time to play the original Daemon X Machina.
Have you ever played a Rune Factory? I've never played a Rune Factory.
I need to play a Rune Factory.
So you have also never played a Rune Factory?
I've played a few hours of one Rune Factory.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know shit about them. If it's less farming and more you just get to dungeon crawl, I don't know if they really force you to do that stuff that much, but I would try one of these. I mean, they're all about it in this presentation, so... Okay, yeah, I guess that's about it. Sorry for the awkward ending. I don't really, we don't have a game to play or anything today, but being Kevin-less, we will be back to full strength a couple weeks from now. Next week, enjoy the second part of our Octopath Traveler 2 discussion, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
You've been listening to